good that never was and always will be.
Thank you, Michael.
I didn't do his voice justice.
Today we are doing something that has been on my list of things to do since pretty much April of 2016 when it closed. I'm talking about the streets of America at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And Adam from the Daily Woo and I are going to be matching up as much as we can back in the current Galaxy's Edge compared to what it was when it was Streets of America, Residential Street. This is going to be quite the undertaking, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let's take a closer look. This place sure has changed since it opened, May of '89, when it was the Disney-MGM studios. But there are some remains from its beginnings, and then there are things that have, as they say, bit the dust. And that's what we're kind of talking about today, the old streets of America. But I gotta get in this place first. Morning, Bo. Love to stay and chat, but I got a lot to do today. And I gotta meet up with Adam, too. I'm sure he said hey to you this morning. See you later, buddy. Oh, Hollywoodland, my favorite theme park. Now here's a current map where we're gonna be talking about. It's gonna be starting right here, next to the Muppets area. And now it is Galaxy's Edge, but back in the day, this was all Streets of America, Residential Street back here, sound stages, Earful Tower back over in this area. We're gonna be finding it all. Golden Girls house location, Vern's house from Ernest Saves Christmas, Bulldog Cafe. It's all gonna happen today. And I always say this is pretty much it. Pretty much what is left of Streets of America physically. This was right in the New York area. You had the writer's stop right here at the Baseline Tap House. And where we are standing, more or less, is kind of where the facade started, like right around in here. You could like walk back here. You did that.
It didn't end well for me.
No.
Wouldn't recommend doing that.
No, but sometimes they would have the things open and they would let you walk back there.
Sometimes they would, yeah.
So it's a weird thing. But Adam is here with me, and we're going to venture straight ahead into the former home of my, and I think Adam's, favorite place in this park that's no longer here, the Streets of America. Now, I took this photo the last day Streets of America was open, and you can see the little subway entrance, which was a fake entrance and stairs, and the building right here. That's where this was taken. And then shifting right here in the center, this is what I'm talking about with the New York facade right there. And then this building, have a wide shot, and you can see a billboard right over here, but this is right here where that is. This is where they used to start Osborne's Christmas. This is about where Goofy was when they would light the tree at Osborne's. It was right around here. So wild. And continuing on, this public library was more or less where we are standing now. Like, I'm standing inside the public library. Give you guys a pinpoint of where that location would be. This is also the same public library that Jim Carrey's character Ace Ventura would lay himself down every day on a show they had. They had an Ace Ventura show here, and he would scaffold down that building. And then right here, this building you can see, which was next to the entrance where my thumb is to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area. You're looking more at this angle right here. That's where those buildings were, more or less. The next time you're in this queue right here for Rise of the Resistance, you're basically standing in this area here. And it continued down towards the other end of Batu here. All of these buildings. These are all my photos that I took the last day. Here's the entrance to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So where we are right now is kind of, sort of, not the best angle, but the best I can do of where this was looking back down. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area to the left. In the distance, the building that's still here from Streets of America. Looking back this way towards the queue, like I said, of Rise. And now this is the little pop-up shop they have for Rise, the Resistance. And right here, Adam Adam was showing me, right here is where the archway was. So yeah, we were on target the whole time. This is pretty cool. You can see to my left there where my thumb is, that was the building that was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Straight ahead, you can see the New York skyline. And now this is what it is. Awesome. So right here was the Singing in the Rain umbrella. And you can see that building, we were just talking about the corner building next to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We can't get to this unless we ride Rise of the Resistance, because where this is basically where Poe's X-Wing is in BB-8, and they're like rushing you to get on the vehicle. That's where that area is. So it's straight ahead here, behind those rocks, the exit of Rise of the Resistance. Now straight ahead is the skyline to San Francisco, one of Abby's favorite places to hang out in Streets of America. Her favorite stoop was there. And that area is actually towards this side of Rise of the Resistance. You can see the top of the little cliff there. This is the exit. These are the strollers. It would have been right over here in this area. And using the photos I have, Adam and I were pinpointing, he pinpointed exactly where Bette Midler was in the film The Lottery, which was in the top of that building right there, and it was more or less in this area. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. You can kind of vaguely point out these spots, you know, but it is. But it kind of gets your bearings.
I'm waiting for Bette to come crawling out of the foliage here.
Hello, Adam.
I'd be like winning the lottery.
Bette Midler was in that window there, but check out the Streets of America sign I took a photo of. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Lights, Motors, Action, Extreme Stunt Show, restrooms, and the Hyperion Theater. That's right, they had a Hyperion Theater back here, not far from the Singing in the Rain umbrella. It was right across the street from that. Now recently I did do a video talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is the stage. That stage would have been right here. So, yeah, right there is where the Turtle Show was. And looking down here, Adam's like kind of in the turtle area. And continuing down with the journey, you got Herbie's Drive-In next to this like City Hall courthouse area, more or less over in this area. And then we are going to be venturing into Residential Street area, which is in the shopping area, starting here in the shopping area. And looking at this really cool map of an aerial shot, the Bulldog Cafe from The Rocketeer would have been right over here in this door area, right behind the X-Wing is where this is. You can see these right here in a satellite view that Adam has on his video, so check out his video. But this is where the Bulldog is, which means right across from this would have been the church on Streets of America.
That's crazy, dude.
If you would have been looking like right there. So if Bulldog was looking towards Adam, he would have been looking in the distance right there at that church, which I don't have a street view photo of, but I'm sure it's on someone's video. Yeah, we're standing right around this area here. See Lights, Motors, Action. The water tower was right over there, the Earful Tower.
Could have been.
I didn't get a photo, but Adam did, of the Earful Tower and the one they had that was like a topiary of the Disney-MGM studios. Yeah, more or less in that general area.
This is not pinpointed precisely. It's probably within a little bit of a distance. Just kind of guesstimating on
where we would see it on the tram tour would more or less be from where we're sitting right now.
Observing new forms of
we would have been like looking in the distance at it. You didn't really drive straight up to it. They showed it to you from a distance because it was technically backstage. And these are the only citizens of Streets of America that you're going to see now. These stormtroopers here. I am. I'm remaining calm. These guys are amazing. Look at these locals here. Things have certainly changed around here. I remember when this was Hollywood. All of it. They had this crazy idea of filming movies and television shows at a theme park. And pretty much here is where Streets of America's Residential Street, where the houses were. Vern's house, the house from Golden Girls, Empty Nest house, Adventures in Wonderland house. It was all in this area. And if you make it to Batu on this side, where the Millennium Falcon is, if you look back at Olga's Cantina from this angle, you'd be looking at Vern's house from Ernest Saves Christmas. On the other side of the angle is where they filmed a lot of the scenes for the movie, and Herbie the Love Bug, which we're gonna go look at right now. But right here is this angle of Vern's house on Residential Street. You know what I mean, Vern? In the film, Ernest would have been pulling up right towards us, and right here he would have pulled up into Vern's house. Vern. What a guy. It's where Vern was hosting his Christmas party. Right here.
Vern. What a guy. Yeah, me and Vern go back a long way. We spend the holidays together. I help him work on his house and stuff like that. Me and old Vern are tighter than stretched duct tape. I guess you could say we're cut from the same bark, know what I mean? Old Vern's done pretty good for himself, though. If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be where he is today. I taught him all he knows about nuclear physics. Know what I mean? Yeah, Vern's happy to see me. He's my best buddy, and he throws the great party. Of course, we're a little early, so we could help him decorate and maybe, you know, put out the food, finger sandwiches and cheese balls and bean dip.
Well, I hope he's got something I can eat, not just a lot of things made out of white sugar and red meat.
And also at Vern's house, they had Herbie the Love Bug, who would drive out towards the tram and his front end would bounce. He would like wave at the audience while you were on the tram tour here in the driveway of Vern's house from Ernest Saves Christmas.
Well, it's Herbie the Love Bug, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody say hi to Herbie as we drive by. Herbie's still got a little of the acting bug left, I guess. He's currently staying at Vern's house with the touchstone film Ernest Saves Christmas. You may remember Herbie from some of his recent films.
They're doing something here on Kylo Ren's ship, but there was a sing-along song that Disney released when they still had Residential Street, and you can see Mickey and the kids in front of the house that was right here, the very end of Residential Street. They're doing a little demonstration here at Kylo Ren's now. Isn't that crazy? Mickey and the kids were hanging out here on a Residential
It's been
Street.
taken over by the First Order.
Yep. Took a dark turn.
Like 3 or 4 puffs from the
And then looking down this angle here, you have been looking at the empty nest house right there. In the front of the house with the vehicles, they had it looking just like it did on TV. Thank you for being a friend, Golden Girls, all those years. And right over here was the Golden Girls house in this area right here. They built this house out here to film future seasons of the Golden Girls, but the very first seasons were all shot out in Hollywood, California, but they rebuilt it here so the Disney company could just use the facade whenever they wanted and change up a few things and didn't have to go and bother the residents of the first house. And continuing the journey, you have Vern's house there, Empty Nest, Golden Girls, and then you had a house from Adventures in Wonderland over in this area right here where Docking Bay 7 is now, right in this area here. And then continuing behind this would be back where the Bulldog Cafe is. We made a big circle, if you will. But who would have thought back in the 80s, late 80s, that the Millennium Falcon would have been sitting next to Vern, the Golden Girls, Empty Nest, and even Alice. Wild to think, right? And looking down this area here, this was a screen grab from a movie that Adam and I recently discovered called Splash 2, T-O-O, a sequel to Splash with Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. This starred John Ritter's wife, Amy, at the time, and this is a really cool angle because you're looking down at Vern's house and everything, and this was the house they used in the movie Splash 2, and it's set right over here in this area. The whole movie is on YouTube. I'm going to put the link up now if you guys want to watch Splash 2. Unheard of movie that was filmed here in Central Florida, and maybe I'll do a precise like filming location movie one day, maybe. Holy cow, it's Kylo Ren. Dude, look at this. And the stormtroopers just walking around.
All right, let's move on.
I can't move on. The streets of America are still here, man. Now, we can't get to Catastrophe Canyon, but you can see from this map, behind Residential Street is where Catastrophe Canyon would have been, which is right behind Smuggler's Run, in that area over there. Now, sometimes you can get lucky and that extended queue straight ahead, and that door is open, and you can go back where Catastrophe Canyon was. But that is basically where all that is, right there. And back in this area, you would have had Walt's Plain and Catastrophe Canyon. All of that right over there. Didn't want to leave it out, but we can't get to it. And this used to be on the Backlot tour at one point, the Royal Disney Production Center, and then you would go around, you could see the original animation building, which is straight ahead right back here. So back in the day, Luxo would come out right there, that window, an animatronic. And right over here, you can see a little bit of the windows left from the Streets of America, right over there. And straight ahead would have been the splash fountain. And then right over here would have been the Dipmobile and the entrance to the Backlot Studio Tour in its later years. Well, this was a fun day traveling back in time to when this was, you know, more or less a studio and just a theme park. A Hollywood that never was and will always be, according to Michael Eisner, which is right there on
A Hollywood that never was and always will be.
Thank you, Michael.
I didn't do it his voice justice.
It's all right. It's all right. We knew what you were talking about. This was a lot of fun, though. There's no way it's only 88 degrees. It's extremely hot out there. I'm back in my car. Say goodbye to Adam. Got a water on the way out, and we put it under his name, which is funny. But I had to get some water. But this was a lot of fun, you guys. We did it. We finally did it. Streets of America. I'm gonna turn this air down. Sorry if that's annoying. It's ridiculously hot. You gotta blast the AC here in Florida. Streets of America coverage. And don't sweat, because a great movie ride episode is coming very soon. I'm trying to figure out if I want to film it here at the parks or do a discussion at my house. Chime in, comment what you would rather see. Me walking around the parks talking about my experience, or like I did my Paul Rubens tribute video in my room. Let me know. But this was fun. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Until then, stay weird. I miss you, Streets of America. I miss you, MGM Studios, but that's progress. Goodbye.